The rescue that changed everything. Deep space was quiet. Too quiet. Ray sat alone in his small ship, Athena 3. He was a human scavenger, someone who searched broken satellites and old ships for parts. He didn't talk much. He didn't have many friends, just his ship and the stars. Suddenly the silence broke. Distress signal detected. The ship's AI spoke in a calm voice. Ray leaned forward. Location? He asked. Origin? Unknown. Class 7 alien vessel. Crash detected near Mars belt. Ray's heart raced. Alien ships were rare and dangerous, but he was curious and a little bored. Let's check it out, he said. As Athena 3 reached the crash site, Ray saw it. A silver alien ship, broken, floating in space. Pieces of metal were everywhere. No weapons were active, no movement inside. He wore his spacesuit and entered the wreck. The lights inside flickered. Smoke floated in the air. The walls were strange, smooth and glowing slightly blue. Then he heard something. A soft sound. Breathing. He turned a corner and saw them. Two alien girls lying on the floor. One had glowing purple skin with bright green eyes. The other had silver white hair and blue skin. They were hurt, weak, and barely conscious. Ray stepped closer. Can you hear me? He said softly. The girl with white hair opened her eyes. She looked at him scared, then surprised. You're human, she whispered. Ray nodded. Yes, I came to help. The purple-skinned girl tried to sit up but winced in pain. We need to leave, now. They'll find us. Who? Ray asked. Before she could answer, the white-haired girl collapsed again. Ray knew he had no time. He carried them both back to Athena 3. The AI scanned them. Life signs stable. Multiple injuries. Healing required. Do it, Ray said. Keep them alive. Hours passed. Ray sat near the medbay watching them. He had questions. Who were they? Why were they running? And why was their ship labeled High Command, Erase on Sight? Finally, the white-haired girl opened her eyes again. She looked stronger now. Thank you, she said. What's your name? Ray asked. Ilara, she replied. And she's Zira. Zira, the purple-skinned one, opened her eyes too. She stared at Ray, serious and sharp. You saved us, she said slowly. Do you know what that means? Ray frowned. I helped you. That's all. Ilara shook her head gently. On our planet, there is an ancient law. If someone saves us from death, we belong to them. It is a bond. Unbreakable. Ray blinked. Wait, what? We are bound to you now, Ilara said quietly. You are our guardian, by law and by honor. No, Ray said, standing up. I don't own anyone. I'm just a guy in space. Zira sat up, her voice calm but firm. The law doesn't care what you want. The bond is real. If others find out, they'll hunt us all. Who is they? Ray asked. Ilara's face turned pale. The Galactic Council. They sent agents to kill us. We escaped with something. Something powerful. They will do anything to get it back. Before Ray could ask more, the AI interrupted. Incoming vessel detected. Fast approach. Unidentified. Zira jumped to her feet. They found us. Ray rushed to the cockpit. A dark, sharp-looking ship was heading toward them. They're locking weapons, the AI said. A voice came through the comms, cold and robotic. Human vessel. Surrender the fugitives. You have 1 minute. Ray looked back at Ilara and Zira. They didn't look scared. They looked ready to fight. Do you have weapons? Ray asked. Zira smiled slightly. Not enough. Ilara stepped forward. But we have knowledge. And now, we have you. Ray stared at them both. His quiet life was gone. His world just changed. He sat in the pilot's seat and took a deep breath. Then let's run. The engines roared. Athena 3 jumped into light speed, vanishing just before the enemy fired. As the stars blurred outside, Ilara whispered one last thing. You saved us. Now we are yours. Forever. Bound by ancient law, space was never still, always moving, always watching. But inside Athena 3, time felt frozen. Ray stared at the stars ahead, hands tight on the controls. Behind him, two alien girls, Zira and Ilara, sat quietly, their eyes full of secrets. They had escaped death. Again. We lost them. For now. The AI confirmed. Ray stood up and turned to face the girls. Who the hell are you? Zira's gaze didn't waver. We are fugitives now, but before that, we were something else. Explain, Ray said. Ilara took a deep breath. Our home planet is called Virelia. Powerful, rich, beautiful, but ruled by lies. She touched the glowing necklace around her neck. It shimmered, and a small image appeared in the air, a palace giant floating in the sky with ships surrounding it like insects. We were part of the High Order, Ilara said. Scientists, thinkers, truth-seekers. And you found something, Ray guessed. Something we were not supposed to find, Zira added. A secret hidden for thousands of years. Ilara nodded. Deep under the ice of our twin moon, we found a temple, old, forgotten, but not empty. She paused, eyes darkening. We found proof. Proof that Virelia's oldest law, the debt of life, was not created by our people. Then who made it? Ray asked. Your kind, Zira said. The silence in the ship grew heavy. Humans? Ray asked, confused. But we've never met you before. Your history was stolen from you, Ilara whispered. Before your Earth had pyramids, your ancestors ruled the stars. They created the law. The same law that binds us to you now. So you're saying, Ray said slowly, I saved you. And now, by your ancient law, you're mine? Zira's voice was calm. Yes, not as slaves, but as bound souls, protectors, forever linked. Ray stepped back. I didn't ask for this. But we didn't ask to be hunted, Zira replied. Suddenly, alarms blared. Tracking beacon active. Stealth failed. Unknown ship approaching. Ray's eyes widened. How did they find us? Ilara's face turned pale. She looked at her wrist. A small mark was glowing red. They branded us before we escaped, she said. The mark calls them. Ray slammed his hand on the control panel. We need to get that off you. You can't, Ilara said. Only one place can remove it safely. An old station. Abandoned. Forbidden. Where? Dark orbit. Near. The dead star, Zira said. But it's crawling with machines. No one goes there. Ray sighed. Of course. The ship shook. Enemy ship has locked weapons, the AI warned. Ray looked at the girls. You said you have knowledge. Now's the time to use it. Zara smiled faintly and placed her hand on the console. Her fingers glowed with purple light. Alien symbols spread across the controls. What the? Ray gasped. Your ship is old tech, she said. But it listens to me now. Suddenly, the ship moved faster, dodging blasts with impossible grace, like it was dancing through death. Ray stared. You hacked my ship? No, Ilara said. We upgraded it. They escaped into a hidden drift zone, a space pocket where sensors don't work. Everything was dark and silent again. You're full of surprises, Ray said. Zira leaned against the wall, tired. You still don't understand, do you? What? You didn't. Just save two strangers, she said. You changed your fate and ours. Ray looked at her confused. Ilara sat beside him. Your DNA. It matches the ancient Guardian code, the ones who first created the law. You mean, I'm part of some old alien bloodline? Ray said. Yes, she whispered. And now, the stars will watch you too. Suddenly, the AI spoke again. Urgent message received. Source. Unknown. Content. Warning. The screen lit up. A strange figure appeared, its face hidden, voice metallic. You have the marked ones. Do not go to the dead star. The truth must stay buried. If you dig it up, you will die. The message ended. Silence returned. Ray stared at the dark screen, then at the two girls. We're going, he said. Even if it kills you? Ilara, Asta Ray nodded. If the truth was hidden, then it needs to come out. Zira placed a hand on his shoulder. Then you are not just our guardian now, she said softly. You're our rebellion. Hunted in space, the stars were quiet, but not for long. Deep in the shadow of a cold, dying planet, Athena 3 floated in silence. The engines were off. Lights dimmed. Outside, there was only darkness. Inside, everything was tense. Ray sat at the center of the control room, staring at the holographic map. Red dots flickered on the edge of the screen. They were surrounded. They're closing in, the AI whispered. 7 ships, unknown class, cloaked. Zara stood beside Ray, calm but alert. She held a small device in her hand, her eyes scanning strange alien symbols on its surface. They're not bounty hunters, she said. They're assassins. Ray looked up. Sent by who? Ilara answered quietly from behind. The Galactic Silence Order. They clean up secrets permanently. So we're the secret now? Ray asked. Zira gave a sharp nod. No witnesses, no mercy. In the engine room, Ilara worked fast. Wires spread across the floor. Small energy crystals glowed beside her. She was modifying the ship's core. Again. Ray walked in, watching her work. This ship is barely holding together, he said. How much more can it take? Ilara smiled softly. She wants to survive, just like us. Ray paused. What exactly did you steal? Ilara looked up. It's not what we stole, it's what we remembered. She stood holding up a small metal box. This memory crystal. It doesn't just hold data, it holds voices, visions, of the first Guardians. The first humans in space, Ray asked. Yes, they created the law of life debt. Not to control others, but to protect them. Ray frowned. But now it's being used as a weapon. That's why we ran, she said. And that's why they'll never stop. Back in the cockpit, Zyra watched the scanners. A faint signal appeared, flickering, fading, coming closer. One of the assassin ships just decloaked, she said. Testing us. They want to scare us out, Ray guessed. It won't work, Zira muttered. Then the ship shook violently. A blue beam sliced through the rear wing. Hull breach in cargo bay 2, the AI warned. They're not waiting anymore, Ray said. He jumped into the pilot's seat. Strapping in. We run or we die. Ilara rushed in, holding the memory. Crystal tight. Engines ready. Hyper jump charged. Ray looked at Zira. We can't outrun 7 ships. We don't have to, she said with a smile. Just one. What? She stepped to the panel and activated a hidden function. A small part of the ship detached, a decoy drone shaped like Athena 3. They'll follow the ghost. We fly. Through the chaos. Ray smirked. You're good at this. I was trained to survive, Zira said simply. Since childhood. The trap worked. As the ghost ship flew toward an asteroid belt, 3 enemy ships followed it. 2 more waited, outside the field, but the real Athena 3 dove straight through the heart of a dying star's magnetic storm. Inside the storm, space twisted. Lightning ripped through the darkness. One wrong move, and the ship would be torn apart. Keep her steady, Ilara shouted. Ray gripped the controls, sweat on his forehead. Tell the storm to behave then. Suddenly, Zira's voice grew serious. We're not alone. Another ship appeared, massive, ancient, covered in strange vines and broken metal. It didn't chase them, it just waited. What is that? Ray asked. Ilara's face went pale. That's a grave watcher. A what? They guard forbidden space, she said. No living ship has passed near it in centuries. Zira stared at the alien ship. Then let's wake it up. What? Trust me, she said. I know the code. She walked to the communication panel, placed her hand on the console, and whispered a single word in her language. The Grave Watcher lit up. Inside the dark ship, something moved. Huge metal arms reached out and grabbed one of the assassin ships, crushing it like paper. Ray gasped. How did you do that? Zira turned to him. This ship responds to old blood. You, me. We're part of something forgotten. Why is it helping us? Because the law still remembers, Ilara said. The remaining assassin ships pulled back. The Storm, the Watcher, the Ghost, too many unknowns. For now, the hunters retreated. Athena 3 floated free, scarred but alive. Inside, Ray stared at the stars again. We need answers, he said. No more running. Zira nodded. Then we go to the dead star. Ilara stepped forward, holding the crystal tightly. There is a temple buried there, she said, beneath ash and silence. It's where the first human wrote the law. It's where the truth sleeps. Ray looked at them both, tired, angry, ready. Then let's wake it. Up where Hawaii? The secret they carry space was deep, darker than thought, colder than fear. Athena 3 drifted near a dead star, a collapsed giant, now nothing more than a frozen black sphere. Light didn't shine here. Nothing lived. Nothing dared. And yet something ancient waited below. Inside the ship, the mood had changed. Less panic, more silence. Not peace, but the quiet before something powerful begins. Ray sat in the medbay, staring at the memory crystal. It pulsed like a heartbeat, glowing with slow, deep light. Zira stood behind him, arms crossed. Ilara sat close, tired, pale. Using the crystal drained her. You said this thing holds voices, Ray said. Memories, history. Ilara nodded. Yes, but not just words. She reached forward and touched the crystal gently. A wave of light spread through the room. A vision appeared, not like a screen, but floating around them. A memory from a time before time. A planet burned in the distance. A man stood at the edge of a crater wearing old armor, human, but strange, his eyes glowing gold. Behind him stood alien races, kneeling, all of them different, all afraid, and all looking at him like a god. The man raised his hand. His voice echoed, From this day, the debt of life shall be law. Those who save life, own life, not as masters, but as shields. Then he fell to his knees, bleeding. Ilara whispered, That was the first guardian. Ray was frozen. He was human. Zira spoke softly, And your DNA matches his. Ray stood slowly, his hands shaking. So I'm related to him? You carry the spark, Ilara said. Not by chance, by design. The vision shifted. Now, a council chamber. The same law, the debt of life, being rewritten, twisted, changed. The alien leaders turned the Guardian's words into something darker, ownership, power, control, and then the truth. The ancient Galactic Council erased human history. They feared humanity's influence, so they buried it, replaced it, and built a galaxy-wide empire on stolen truth. Ray backed away from the vision. This changes everything. Ilara closed the memory. If this gets out, Zira said, every system will burn. Rebellions, war, collapse. Ray looked down. Maybe that's the only way. Suddenly, alarms. Multiple jump signatures detected. Ships arriving. They found us. Ilara rushed to the screen. Not assassins. Worse. A giant ship appeared near the dead star. Long. Cold. Silver like a blade. On the side. Symbol of the High Command. Zira's face turned hard. They sent her. Who? Ray asked. Commander Selena, she said. She trained me. She kills without speaking. Ray turned to the pilot seat. Can we run? Alara shook her head. The star's gravity is pulling us in. We move. Wrong, we die. Then we don't run, Ray said. He grabbed the memory crystal and looked at both girls. You ran all this time. Now we stop. Outside, Selena's ship spoke through a deep voice signal. Ray Archer, you have something that doesn't belong to you. Surrender the fugitives and the crystal. Final warning, Ray replied. The truth doesn't belong to you either. Pause. Then you'll die for it. Missiles launched. Inside the ship, Zyra and Alara worked fast. They redirected shields, rerouted power. And Ray, he inserted the crystal into the ship's main system. The AI paused. Energy signature. Matched. Initializing Guardian mode. Suddenly, Athena 3 changed. Panels opened. Hidden systems woke up. Old human tech, buried for centuries, now alive again. The small scavenger ship began to glow with golden light. You upgraded my ship? Ray asked. No, Alara said. We unlocked it. The battle began, but it wasn't a battle. It was history waking up. Selena's ship fired blasts. Athena 3 dodged them like wind. Ray didn't just control it, he felt it, like it was part of him. How am I doing this? He shouted. The ship remembers your blood, Zyra said. You're the key. Alara sent the truth, the memory recording, across encrypted space channels. Not to everyone, but to one rebel signal, then another, then more. The truth had left the ship. Selena's ship took a final shot, but Athena 3 fired something ancient. A beam of golden blue light that didn't destroy. It disabled. Her ship froze. Dead in space. Zyra looked at Ray. You just beat the strongest commander in the sector. Without killing her. Ray didn't smile. He looked tired. Focused. We're not here to kill, he said. We're here to wake up the galaxy. Alara placed a hand on the console. We have one place left to go, she said. The temple. The origin. And then? Ray, asked, Zyra answered. Then we end the lie, or die trying. The ancient law is real. The dead world turned slowly beneath them. Black stone, silent mountains, and ashes floating like ghosts. No life. No light. Just silence. And something ancient buried deep below. Inside Athena 3, the atmosphere had changed. No more running. No more hiding. They had come to finish what began thousands of years ago. This planet is not marked on any map, Ray said, looking at the screen. Alara nodded. That's the point. It was erased. Zyra stood beside him, her voice low. This is where the law was written and rewritten. Ray stared at the planet. So this is the beginning? And maybe the end, Alara whispered. They landed near a deep canyon, sharp cliffs and black sand, untouched by life for centuries. In the center, buried under the rock, stood a large stone gate, half fallen, cracked, but still humming with energy. Symbols were carved all over it, some human, some alien, and some too old to name. Ray stepped forward. What now? Alara handed him a small key, a shard of crystal glowing gold. Only your blood can open it. He stepped toward the gate, unsure, afraid, and yet drawn to it. As he placed the shard in the center slot, the gate shook. Stone moved. Ancient. Metal clicked, and the ground split open. A stairway appeared leading into darkness. Inside, the temple was vast. Silent hallways of stone, glowing walls, giant statues with human faces and alien bodies. But there was no dust, no decay. The place felt alive, like it had been waiting. This temple was made by the first guardians, Alara said, before the council, before the lies. Ray ran his fingers across a wall carving, a human standing between two alien queens, both kneeling. That's him, he said. The man in the crystal's vision. Zyra nodded. His name was Kinar, the first savior. He saved 3 races during the Burning War. Ilara pointed at the center of the room. A round platform, glowing. Faintly. That's the final truth, she said. But once we activate it, everything changes. Ray looked at her. What do you mean? This platform holds a living memory, Zira said. A voice from the past, not recorded. Alive. You're telling me I can talk to him? Ray asked. Yes, Ilara said. But be warned. Not all truths bring peace. Ray stepped onto the platform. Light surrounded him. The walls disappeared. And suddenly, he stood in a memory, but not just watching, inside it. He stood in a great hall surrounded by alien leaders, arguing, shouting, afraid. And in the center, Kynar, the first guardian, looked straight at him. You are not me, Kynar said, but you carry my blood. Ray nodded, unsure what to say. Kynar stepped forward. Do you know what they did to my law? Yes, Ray said quietly. They turned it into control. Kynar looked away, his voice sad. I created it to protect, to bind those who saved life to those who were lost, not as master, but as shields. Then why bind them at all? Ray asked. Kynar looked deep into his eyes. Because the galaxy is cruel. Kindness is forgotten. Sacrifice must be remembered. So what now? Ray asked. Can I fix it? Kynar stepped back. Only if you choose. A blinding light appeared. 2 paths, one glowing blue, one glowing red. Kynar's voice echoed. The blue path keeps the law, lets it live, keeps order, keeps control. The red path erases it, ends all bonds, ends the power, and the pain. Ray looked at both. What will happen if I destroy the law? Kynar's voice was soft. Chaos, freedom, and truth. Outside the vision, Ilara and Zira stood waiting. The temple rumbled. Walls flickered. Something's happening, Ilara said. Suddenly the ground shook. The Galactic Council had arrived, ships above them, soldiers dropping, weapons loaded. They're here, Zira said. They tracked the energy. How long? Does he have? Ilara asked. Not long. Inside, Ray stood still between the 2 paths. Choose, Kynar said. Ray looked around, at the fake peace the Council created, at the pain of the life debt, at the truth buried and twisted. He reached out and touched the red path. A blinding flash. The platform cracked. The energy burst through the temple. The sky outside turned. Red ships above began to shake. Council systems failed. Everywhere the law died. Millions across the galaxy felt something snap. The bond was broken, free will returned, and with it, revolution began. Ray collapsed on the platform. Ilara ran to him, holding him close. You did it, she whispered. Zira looked out toward the sky. Now they'll come with fire. Ray opened his eyes. Let them come. He stood slowly, his voice stronger now. I'm not just a scavenger anymore. He looked at both girls. I'm a guardian. Earth must decide. The stars were no longer silent. News of the broken law had spread like wildfire, from icy moons to rich capital planets. Old alliances shook. Rebellions sparked. Thousands of enslaved species were suddenly free. But freedom never comes without fear. And fear always knocks on Earth's door. Last, Athena 3 floated just outside Earth's orbit, damaged but alive. Inside, the mood was heavy. Ray stood near the window, staring down at his home planet. The blue glow looked peaceful, but nothing would ever be peaceful again. You okay? Zira asked. Ray didn't answer. Ilara walked up beside him, holding a secure data tablet. We sent the truth, the full memory file. Now Earth knows everything. Ray closed his eyes. How are they reacting? Ilara hesitated. Divided. On Earth, in hidden war rooms and secret bunkers, leaders shouted. Some wanted to thank Ray. Others wanted to silence him. In space, one message repeated across every Earth channel. Return to the surface for High Council review. Do not attempt to land without clearance. Sounds like a trap, Zira said. It is, Ilara replied. But we have to go. Ray turned around. Why? Because if you don't face Earth now, Ilara said softly, they'll turn against you. They'll join the Council. They landed near a hidden military outpost in Nevada desert, the kind of place that didn't exist on any map. Soldiers waited. No weapons raised. Not yet. Ray walked forward alone, the crystal slotted into his belt. Zira and Ilara stayed behind, watching every move through the ship's monitors. A group of generals stood waiting. One of them stepped forward, a woman in a dark suit with silver hair and tired eyes. My name is General Harris, she said. You've caused a very big problem. Ray didn't flinch. No, I revealed one. You've started rebellions, she said. Ships are leaving their alliances, trade systems are failing, and alien governments are blaming Earth because they know the truth, Ray replied. We were the first, we built the law. And now, I've ended it. You had no right, she snapped. Ray stepped closer. We had no right to forget. Back, on the ship, Zira watched the heat signatures. Something's off, she said. Multiple high-energy weapons under the base. Ilara's fingers flew over the console. They're preparing for a takedown. Of who? Zira asked. Him or us? Inside the meeting chamber, General Harris lowered her voice. You've made yourself into a symbol, she said. People are calling you the last guardian. Ray gave a bitter smile. I didn't ask for that. Doesn't matter, she replied. Symbols are dangerous. They start wars. Ray leaned forward. Then maybe Earth needs to choose a side. Stay with a broken council, or lead a new future. She looked at him for a long moment. And what future is that? Ray took a deep breath. A galaxy where life can't be owned. Where debt isn't power. Where saving someone doesn't mean owning them forever. Idealism doesn't win wars, she said. Maybe not, Ray said. But truth does. Outside, missiles locked on Athena 3. Zira's eyes narrowed. They're going to destroy the ship if he doesn't comply. We won't wait, Ilara said. She activated the ship's external shield, but suddenly, an emergency signal came through. Not from the base, from the moon. A secret station orbiting the dark side of the moon activated. A hidden Earth faction, the Circle of Origin, sent a message directly to Ray. Guardian Ray Archer, the voice said. We have waited for your return. The memory you released confirms everything. Please, come to us. Ray stepped out of the military tent, his communicator glowing. They're real, he said. The Circle, my ancestors' watchers. Zira's voice came through his earpiece. You're not safe there. Come back. I have to finish this, Ray said. He walked past the generals, past the soldiers, back into his ship, and Athena 3 took off once again. The Circle's station was hidden beneath moon rock. Old tech, human-designed, alien-enhanced. Ray stepped. Inside, an old man waited for him, standing beside a black monolith. Welcome, Guardian, he said. We've kept the truth, and the choice. What choice? Ray asked. The man turned, revealing a deep chamber, filled with glowing orbs, ancient devices, and one giant throne-like seat. The law is broken, the man said, but you can build a new one. I don't want to rule, Ray replied. Then choose how to lead, the man said. Outside, Earth debated war or peace. The Council offered Earth a deal. Return the girls, return the crystal, help us stop the rebellion, or Earth becomes our next target. The clock was ticking. In the moon station, Zira placed her hand on Ray's shoulder. They want you to build something better, she said. But they'll come for you no matter what you build. Ilara added quietly. So, let's build something worth defending. Ray stepped toward the throne but didn't sit. Instead, he touched the device beside it and issued a message across every signal Earth and the Council could hear. This is Ray Archer. I am human. I carry the blood of guardians. I broke the law. And now I offer a choice. Stand with the truth, or stand in our way. On Earth, people watched. In council chambers across the galaxy, leaders went silent. The rebellion had a face now, and war was no longer a question. It was a countdown. One human against the galaxy. The galaxy held its breath, from deep trade routes to outlaw moons, from desert colonies to high royal planets. Everyone had heard the message, stand with the truth, or stand in our way. But the Galactic Council didn't wait. They responded with war. Above Earth's orbit, the skies turned black. Dozens of warships blinked into view. Council destroyers, cruisers, command dreadnoughts. Each one powered by stolen knowledge. Each one armed with weapons older than most suns. Their message was simple. We gave humanity time. Now we take it back. On the dark side of the moon, inside the Circle's hidden station, Ray stood in silence. Alara watched from the control room. They're coming in full force. 67 confirmed ships, 1 Death Moon-class destroyer. Zira tightened her gloves. They're not just trying to kill you. They're trying to erase you. Ray didn't answer right away. He walked to the center of the chamber where the throne, the command core of the ancient guardians Mau, still waited. But instead of sitting, Ray knelt beside it. I don't want to be a king, he said softly. Just a spark. In the next room, the ancient systems activated. Symbols floated in the air. Old Earth tech merged with alien circuits. The last Guardian beacon lit up. One by one, ships across the galaxy, broken, abandoned, outlawed, began to wake up. A stolen freighter on a mining moon turned toward the stars. A rebel fleet in hiding activated a long-forgotten warp drive. A hidden army of former bonded slaves, once owned, now free, marched under a single banner. The rebellion had answered. The call, but the enemy, was already here. Athena 3, upgraded beyond recognition, launched from the moon. Beside it flew the rebels. Old fighters, civilian ships, retrofitted freighters, mismatched, low on ammo, but full of purpose. Ray's voice came across every frequency. We don't fight to conquer, we fight to break chains. If we fall free. The battle began. Council destroyers fired plasma storms. Earth's defense satellites went dark. Rebel ships fell one by one. But they didn't stop. Inside the chaos, Ray's ship punched through lines, dancing between blasts, dodging weapons that should have erased him. Zyra, give me shield core, Ray shouted. You'll overload the front, she warned. Do it! Athena 3 charged forward, smashing through a dreadnought's command bay. You're insane, Zyra muttered. I'm human, Ray replied. On the surface of Mars, a hidden, base-activated an old weapon, Project Echo, Earth's secret failsafe built from ancient Guardian code. But they didn't aim it at the enemy. They aimed it at Ray. Target is unstable, the base commander said. He's not a hero. He's a threat to order. But before they could fire, Alara sent a virus into their systems. Order isn't peace, she whispered. It's just silence in a cage. In space, Ray reached the core ship, the Council's Death Moon. A single shot from it could destroy Earth. We don't have enough firepower, Zyra shouted. Ray opened the crystal slot, the one connected to his DNA. No, he said. But we have something older. He inserted the memory crystal, the last echo of the first Guardian. Suddenly, the ship's core glowed gold. The enemy systems shut down, not destroyed. Converted, across the battlefield, Council weapons froze. Some ships turned and joined Ray's side. Not by command, but by memory, by choice. The law was gone, but the truth remained. In the quiet that followed, Earth sent its final message. From every country, one by one, leaders spoke. Earth stands with the Guardian. Earth remembers its truth. Earth is no longer afraid. And then, the Council broadcast went dark. For the first time in thousands of years, the galaxy was without a ruler. Back on the moon, Ray stood on a platform above Earth's horizon. The stars looked the same. But something had changed. Zira and Ilara stood beside him. "You didn't just win a battle," Ilara said. "You started a new galaxy." Zira added, "But it's going to be messy." Ray nodded. "Freedom always is." He looked at both of them. "You're free now," he said. "No more laws. No more bond." Zira looked away. "And yet we're still here." Ilara smiled. "Because this time, we choose." Ray breathed in the silence. He was no longer a scavenger, no longer a fugitive, no longer just human. He was a spark that lit the stars.